What's happening, guys? So I got a Corvette. You guys are looking at it. So, got some news. I did a test fit of all the stuff on my motor, and everything looks pretty good. I just got done stripping it back down because I need to take my rotating assembly to the machine shop so I can have it all balanced. Tentatively, I'm losing some weight in the rotating assembly compared to stock. I did end up going with 6-inch rods, and I ended up going with the Molle Power Pack pistons for the 6-inch rods. Pretty happy about that. The setup looks fantastic inside the engine. I also have a forged GM crank, so that's or it's a steel GM crank. My understanding, it came out of a pickup truck. Why I went with that? Well, it was just cheaper to go with that than get my crank reground, and it adds a little bit of sturdiness. Would I ever need the sturdiness from something other than my stock crank? No, probably not. But at the end of the day, I've got that peace of mind, right? So right now, I'm at the point where I am going to start getting things wrapped up as far as final purchases. I've got my injectors picked out. I'm going to be ordering them very soon, probably within the next 3 weeks. My camshaft, that's coming from Lloyd Elliott, as are my lifters. I trust his opinion on that stuff. And I've been doing the build pretty much at the, not the behest, but at the, using suggestions and relying on experience that other people have had rather than just buying parts and running them. Okay. And so 6-inch rods, Molle Power Pack pistons. The only reason why I went with Molle Power Pack is because a lot of people that I know that race use those pistons in different applications. They're very happy with them. L1 engines, they use Molle Power Pack pistons as well. There's other places that use them as well. So I mean, it's pretty popular, good piston for the money, and it is what it is. Now, I could have stayed with Hyper-Technic pistons and stayed with the 5.7-inch rods, but I mean, I kind of like the 6-inch rods with the extra dwell time, and it just sits better with me over the long term than the 5.7-inch rods. Anyway, getting into that. So what I have left to buy is the injectors, the camshaft, and miscellaneous gaskets. What else do I need to buy? So I was going to initially use my factory OptiSpark. I already reconditioned it. It's ready to go. But I was going to use the OptiSpark that came on the car. Problem is though, I come across the torque head a while ago, and a lot of people really seem to like them. And I was looking at reviews of the performance numbers, dyno numbers from the torque head setup versus the factory stock setup. It's an easy power adder. Let's just put it that way. That gives me a little bit of another thing. I'm having a hard time finding people that will tune this 96. I'm just going to forget that, and I'm going to go with the torque head setup. I'm going to do the valve cover setup just because I do not like the face hugger setup from the intake manifold. I don't like that just because when you look at this engine, I want you to see it is a Grand Sport motor. I want you to see it's an Lt4, and if it's got the intake manifold covered up, you're not going to see that, right? So that being said, we're going to be doing a torque head setup. I'm going to get a little bit more horsepower out of that. Not going to do long tube headers just yet because my budget is getting pushed aside for that a little bit. Like I told you guys earlier, I do have a baby on the way, so I'm kind of moving some money around to keep this project going. And since this isn't fan funded yet, I am not able to do anything with it other than, I have extra money. I'm using it accordingly, but I'm also not shortchanging the future of my baby. So that being said, it's a fun project. I like doing it. I I have been significantly blessed with other LT owners around me that are experienced with these motors and the direction I'm going. Everybody that has experience with them is saying, yeah, this is pretty much the way you need to go. Not need to go, but you could go, and you'll be happy with the results. So cam lifters are coming from Lloyd Elliott. My heads are already done, so that was the first thing I did because I didn't want to get crunched for expenditures later on. And then, a lot of people, what they end up doing is they end up dumping all their money into the upper end of the motor, or they dump all their money into the lower end of the motor, and then they don't have the funds to continue. Now, I could have gotten like a Golan engine or an Elwine engine or something, but realistically, at the end of the day, I don't really want an engine that was built by somebody else. I am confident in my abilities to follow directions in assembling an engine. Okay, it's not rocket science. It's building a small block Chevy. So that being said, I have come across more LT1s. Been blessed with an abundance of LT1s. Something I've discovered with the LT1s is the head gaskets are their weak link. Not necessarily, but necessarily they are they are not the weak link, but they are a weak link. About 100,000 miles, I have a handful of engines that were pulled at around 100,000 miles with blown head gaskets. Now, that is very interesting to me, which I'm not sure why that would be the case. I have to look further into why that would be the case. But what is for certain is that when you look at things like the heads typically don't end up warped. The deck doesn't end up warped. I think what it is that the computer is so fickle that it's probably leaning it out when it shouldn't, and cylinder head temperatures are getting too hot, or combustion chamber. I think it's damaging the head gasket over the years. So I'm not entirely positive why, but I have a pile of head gaskets over here on the wall here from different engines, all with blown head gaskets and all relatively local. So it is a common issue, but it is not that common. Does that make sense, guys? So what does that mean for me? When I get this car put together, when I get to enjoying the car, I'm probably not going to worry about the head gaskets for a long time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on my service interval for about 100,000 miles. So car's got 120,000 miles on it. So in about 100,000 miles, I am probably going to start looking at the head gaskets and trying to figure out if I need to, look further into them. Okay. Now, with the torque head setup, I think it's going to be a little bit easier to control my fuel curves and everything, or not my fuel curves, but my ignition and everything, which I think will be ideal for the car. I want the car to be happy, whether it's driving down the interstate or whether it is taking part in an autocross from time to time. Okay. I want the car to be happy. I want to be able to get in it and trust the car. And realistically, by the time I get done with the build, I'm going to be able to trust the car. I trusted the car before. I didn't necessarily not trust the car when the head gasket did blow, but it was such an unfamiliar experience for me when the head gasket did blow that I was kind of caught off guard with what was actually going on. So that being said, I think I've covered everything so far up to date here. I do have a few Lt4 parts now. I have several intake manifolds. I've got several sets of heads. I have more than what's sitting here. I've got oil pans now. I've got all sorts of stuff. I've got more pistons than you can count. Not really, but I've got pistons, connecting rods, all sorts of stuff. And yeah. So as far as like a 383 build or something like that, I'm going to kind of backtrack on that a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end up, I'm going to send one of these sets, one of the nicer sets of heads to Lloyd Elliott. I'm going to have him port them. Just kind of build up an all-around beater. And I might get, another one of these that just needs a motor. And that's, I think, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to find one that needs a motor and go with that, and then use that as my video mule. Because realistically, if you're not doing anything with the motor, I haven't had time to go any further with this, guys. But you see, anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. You got to have time to do this stuff. It just is what it is. So here in the next month, I'm going to have some more time. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be great. So I am currently waiting to get the flywheel out. Once I get the flywheel out, then I will be taking my rotating assembly up to the machine shop and having them balance everything. So I was going to do a single mash flywheel, but after reading the reviews of people who use them for daily purposes, not necessarily daily purposes, but like all around, hey, look at me, look at my car, it's special. The noise that these transmissions make makes the car not look special. And people have a hard time understanding that, hey, it's supposed to sound like this. It's not broken. I don't want to sound like that, so I'm kind of not interested in sounding like I have a box of marbles rolling around in the oil pan. So as far as this engine here, I'm probably once I get this block out and start looking it over, I've got this block over here, which is an LT1. That's a 92 or 93 LT1. This one's a 96. And that block over there is junk. Also, dual mass flywheel. That dual mass flywheel is not in good shape. That came out of my Lt4, but it is what it is. So that block there is in good shape. This block here, once I get it out, I'll assess it and make sure it's something that I can rebuild. If I do anything with this, it's going to be a 30 over. So regardless, because it does have some scraping in the cylinder walls. This one here is the one that was up on the engine stand previously to my Lt4 coming back home. That one there is probably going to get decked, and it's probably going to get, if I'm going to be putting a little bit of time into this one, so this one's probably going to be decked and bored and whatever, just to get that one right as rain. But I think this one over here is probably going to be a good stock rebuild. And the reason why I say that is because the bores on that one look fantastic. They're not out of round. They're actually pretty good, in really good shape. And so I might just take my 96 rotating assembly and put it in that, put it together, get some Lt4 adjacent pistons, which I can't find any Lt4 replacement pistons, but I think I might get some Lt4 style Hyperdutechnic pistons. These are higher CC than the Lt4 pistons, so I can't reuse these. I mean, I could, but there are things I can do to work around. I can use the Impala head gasket, stuff like that, just to kind of reduce the quench and get it to where I kind of want it. But what I'm kind of wanting to do is do a stock rebuild on that, and then I'll do my Lt4 heads. Basically, I'm thinking when I get this other Corvette, I'm gonna build it up as a little track beater, something that I can reliably take to an autocross and not have to worry about it really breaking, and also still cruise with it. And not necessarily set it up for high horsepower, but just something for fun. And then this car here is obviously going to be more of my cruiser car, more of my car show car, more of my my baby. So this in here is a little bit more precious to me, so I don't want to break it, in an extreme way, taking it to a track or something. But the other car, I wouldn't mind trashing. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. I will say something though. I have a few different style front engine covers, and I do have a couple of sets of LT1 heads. I have an early LT1 crank. It doesn't have rolled fillets, which later ones do have rolled fillets. So, I mean, people can fight me on that. It's not just the Lt4 that has the rolled fillets. The newer ones, all the 96s do. Well, the majority of them, because every one that I've looked at has them. And the older ones don't. So, yeah. Anyway, those are radius. They're not rolled. Anyway, yeah. So, what else we got? Yeah, if you need a part, I've got flywheels for automatic transmissions, flex plates or whatever you call them, and I've got front engine covers. I mean, I've got stuff coming out the wazoo. Okay, just kind of give me a holler in the comment section, and we'll figure something out. I am gonna maybe list some stuff on eBay and go from there. I'm just gonna try to liquidate it and just kind of see what I end up with. But yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do with the broken block over there is I think I'm gonna build up a mock engine and just kind of have it around, I guess. I don't know. I think that'd look kind of cool. I do have a junk crankshaft over there too. Spun a bearing. So I could mock up a motor, just make it look like it's complete, and then I don't know. I've got throttle bodies too, and my 26-pound injectors. No, I'm going to keep my 26-pound injectors because I'm going to be building up another LT. I'm going to be building up an LT1 that's LT4 adjacent, so I'm going to need them injectors. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for this. Little tired. I've been working a lot, so not exactly in the most energetic, uppity mood like I normally am, but that is what it is. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I'm not going to be getting rid of my OptiSpark because I'm going to be using it on the other motor, but I do have an early OptiSpark. I don't know if it works, but throw me an offer and I'll get rid of that too. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. So I got a Corvette, and you are looking at it. Should probably be running in a month or two. So, all right. Thanks for watching.